watch what
Bill,
you
Bill, are
say.
you ready?
And Marcus is here for a sound test.
Hey, boot that guy out of here. Please boot him out of here.
Listen, yeah, check 1, 2. I just want to. We just need to show these to Johnny. Bill, Johnny, look what Bill and I have. Look at this.
I can't see. I can't see something in my eye.
Going to be on the agenda.
All right, Johnny, you can look now. You can look now, Johnny.
And the Fimi's going to be on the agenda too tonight, Bill. But we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it politically correct here. So, okay, everybody, we're going to start the show here now. 3, 2, 1, and welcome into Drone Nation for July 31st, 2023, the last day of July. This is the DJI Air 3. The reviews are filing in. We're going to get the hunky lowdown tonight from Bill and Marcus. They've actually flown the drone that they paid for themselves, and they're going to give us their honest opinions tonight. And now Johnny's kind of got a tail of woe, and we'll get to that in a little bit of whatever. And DeMarco and I are still we're still on the fence over here. So we're just going to listen and learn here. So we're going to get to the agenda. We're going to go around the room here and catch up, but I just want to say a couple things before we get into agenda. I want to wish Dennis Lovelady a happy birthday. I saw on Facebook it was his birthday. So, we're setting the Drone Nation cake over there. So, just got to find out whether he likes chocolate or vanilla. But in all seriousness, happy birthday, Dennis.
Yeah, happy birthday, Dennis.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dennis.
Yep. So, okay, let's go around the room and catch up with the Drone Nation crew here. We'll start with Marcus and see what he's been up to. I know he had a very busy weekend. He gives a thumbnail version of what happened.
Well, I did, and of course, I want everybody to know that Johnny is a good friend of mine, and I am just being good-natured, giving him a hard time about.
Drake just said, y'all got some man purses. We don't need that drone.
Yeah. Love you, Johnny. So I got the darn thing. We had the big reveal last Tuesday, and man, was that fun. I tell you, and DeMarco, I'd be interested to hear what you say. I think it was the most fun since the Air 2 release, don't you think?
Yeah, well, almost though, because I bought that one though, but no, it was a fun show. Congrats guys for getting a new toy. Bill, you too. Yeah.
But so I got the thing on Tuesday ordered it on Tuesday, and by golly, DJI, it was at my flipping door by Thursday. I mean, that's amazing. I was like, wow, that's the best logistics wise. That's probably the best release that DJI has done in recent memory. Now, it never fails. I had obligations on Friday. You want to fly it, right? You're ready to fly. I had obligations on Friday. I was out at the drag strip. I had obligations on Saturday. I was a judge at a car show. But Saturday afternoon, I just threw it in the car and headed out to the canyon and got a flight into the canyon. Stayed up all night editing that video, and you guys have seen it already. But then I had a busy day yesterday. Ron and I did DroneNation International yesterday, an afternoon show, and then I had a bunch of other obligations the rest of the day. So the short answer is, I haven't flown this guy since, and I'm itching to. I'm absolutely itching to.
You had the battle of those biting flies out there at the canyon that day too.
It was blazing hot. I mean, I'm telling you, you don't know when you're standing out there just in the bright sun, and it was I think by the end of that video, it was 97 degrees, and you just got the sun just beating down on you. It was something else. And of course, there's a lot of livestock out there. People run their cattle and sheep out there. And so anywhere where you have livestock, you end up with a lot of flies, and there were plenty of those. Yeah.
You're a better man than me. When I go down the beach and the flies are biting, I land a drone and just pack up or something.
Well, they don't bite, but they just buzz across your face.
We got biters. We got biters there.
Yeah. Mr. Moore, you're Mr. Moore. You're next.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Hey, everybody. Hey, chat. I have been flying the Mavic 3. I flew it all last week.
Good.
Yeah. I did some great time lapses. Yeah, you know what? That drone is awesome.
I mean, we'll get into it later on, but if you have any of the Mavic series drones, I mean, the Air 2 is just kind of something extra. You don't really need it if you own a Mavic series drone, Mavic 3 series. So.
Actually, too, because like our boy twin did a baseball camp not that far from here. I mean, so I watched them each day, and I did some great time lapses though, and I put him on the screen so he can see it though, and he's just, wow, Dad, look at me. So yeah, it was great.
Good, that's good. I'm glad you're putting that thing through its paces now.
So what's the deal, Ron? So you're saying if you got the Mavic 3, you don't need the Air 3 because it's got that tiny little sensor?
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that later on here.
Just giving you a hard time, buddy.
Mr. Johnnie, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, doing great, man. I want to congratulate y'all yesterday. DroneNation, Bill and DeMarco, they went international yesterday. I think Ron is franchising. I think he's franchising DroneNation. So that was a fun show. I listened.
And Johnnie watched it from the swimming pool.
I did, yeah. We were having a little. It was we had a little lunch and did some burgers and stuff and was watching from the pool. But no, that was a great show, and I know Jackie was excited about it. Yeah, and it was fun to watch. But no, hey, been flying the Mini 3 Pro. I just actually was flying before I come on and got a nice sunset. And Captain Joe and I went out to the swamp yesterday and flew. So we had a great time. And we're going to go out Thursday. I hope I'll have my Air 3, I hope, tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll take that out Thursday and we'll get some more flying in.
Now, does Captain Joe have the Air 3?
Yeah, Joe does not. He's got the Mavic 3 and the Air 2S and the Mini 3 Pro.
He's got no 3s already.
Yeah, those old drones.
He's he's got that old Mavic 3,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, we can't get by without asking. That's pretty cool, that on-air sign you've got behind you there.
The little neon, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
That's what, everybody in the house got to be quiet. My harem, here's, DeMarco.
Hey, I am home alone tonight. No one's here.
Oh.
Yes.
No interruptions tonight, huh?
No. Oh, here, I didn't say this. Maddox and the rest of the family, they are in Des Moines right now, and he runs tomorrow at 2:30 in the Junior Olympics, the 400 meter. So he's currently ranked number 36 in the nation, and hopefully he can work his way up to the top 8. So
you better watch it though live, right, DeMarco?
I can watch it live, yeah.
Good.
Well, congrats. I wish him the best. Best of luck. Thank there. Where I'd like to win. So we have our honored guest Bill the Drone Reviewer on tonight. He hasn't been on a while tonight, but let's catch up with Bill. I mean, Bill, we know you had a fall, back, in June, and you're kind of disabled a little bit with that one hand right now. Yes.
Well, currently I'm undergoing physical therapy, and I can drive with one hand. I just can't drive long distances right now.
Yeah.
It's in the no pain, no gain kind of thing. Okay. Whereas I can make a fist with my right. Left hand, it's starting to get there, but it's the no pain, no gain, because the doctor came when I had my doctor's appointment last week. He's pushing all my fingers, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel too good. Because what he's doing, it's not where the break was. The break was in the hand. It's the tendons and getting them to where they can, function again. And undergoing I have a great physical therapist. She's doing a stellar job. 3 times a week, $65 a pop. It's all good though. So we're getting there as far as getting back is concerned.
You got a timetable of being full recovery in that hand, Bill?
I'm gonna guess maybe September. I'll probably be there. Normally, I leave this on a few hours a day, but for the most part, I go without. Only time I really use this is when I'm driving the car. Even though I don't, because I'm not supposed to pull, push, grab, that kind of thing with it right now. Just getting back into the swing of things. I've gotten incredible range with my fingers, and I'm real good. Well, my middle finger right here, it's still kind of bent here a little bit, and the tendons are going to need to be stretched out, and that's what my physical therapist does during the sessions, and she's pushing on it, and she's talking to me like crazy, and she knows I like to talk. She's a conversationalist, and she's pushing on it where it's going to hurt. And I'm like, oh.
I
That
thought for
kind of
sure
thing.
there was going to be a joke there when you were mentioning your middle finger, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. Yeah.
That's kind of funny. And I want to give a shout out to Al Duran for having me on his show tonight. Had a great time with Brad and Jenna. It was just wonderful.
Yeah, they're a great group of people. Yeah,
Joe, it was a great crew tonight. I got to echo Marcus's sentiment about it being hot flying. Okay. I waited until 6 o'clock yesterday evening to go ahead and do my flight. All right. And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to cool off. Okay. It was 95 degrees at 6 o'clock last night. So it was, well, also too. And what was real nice was I bought it, and I'm just going to show you. You probably see I have a lanyard for the controller, and I got it. It said it worked. I got it on Amazon. It said it works with the RC2, and sure enough, it does. And this thing was a godsend yesterday because for me, I am able to pinch with my thumb and my forefinger, so I had no problems with the throttle on there at all yesterday. So that worked out real well. And no, it felt so. You have no idea how good it felt to go out. I mean, it was so stinking hot. I wasn't out for more than 15, 20 minutes, but it felt so good to fly. Oh my gosh.
Not to steal the title of Bill Thompson's show, but you did a little drone therapy last night, huh?
Yes. I know Johnny had advertised these SD cards, and so I picked up a couple at Best Buy, and the Samsung one, and I put one in the Air 3, and I formatted it okay. And what I did was before I took the Air 3 out, I did a self-test in the room, and I turned the camera on. It popped up with an error.
Well, so did you see my video, Bill? I had the same issue with the Samsung card.
No, I haven't watched your video. So I ended up using a SanDisk 64 gig, and it was all good. No problems.
That's what I did. I had one with me. Fortunately, I bring that stuff with me.
So So what you're saying is all of us that purchased the Samsung off of Lon's link a couple episodes ago, we're going to have to not use that in our new.
Well, let me not so fast, Ron. I need to add that. So when I got home, Bill, you probably did the same thing. I took that card and I formatted it in my computer.
Yes.
And then I did a test run just like you did, Bill. I fired it up on the deck here and it was fine. And then I even went so far as to formatting it again in the drone, and it seems to be recognizing it fine. So
now you formatted what? Is FAT32 or what in the computer?
XFAT.
XFAT, okay.
Right.
Yeah, and it could have been formatted in another.
Listen, I will listen. You know, your memory. I'm old. My memory can be defective, but I swear that I formatted it when I first put it in the drone. When I first got the drone,
because I know they had an older version, and this is a newer. So I was kind of surprised when you said that, Marcus. I forgot to ask you when I talked to you on the phone yesterday.
I wanted to say that I spent more time calibrating this thing than I did flying. Okay, because I didn't know this, and correct me if I'm wrong. It was the first time it asked me to do a calibration of the controller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you do the figure 8 thing upwards and backwards and all. I don't remember how long has this been a thing, because I don't remember doing this.
I remember the original DJI RC. I did it. I don't know.
I think the first time I saw it was on the DJI RC more than a year ago, whatever. Yeah,
but I got some. I have some interesting points when it comes to that segment. Some things that I think can be improved, kind of a thing. But overall, I was unduly impressed with it. I mean, it was
good.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill. So
we'll save all that. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mark.
I got some questions for Bill with regard.
We'll dive into all of that when we get to the.
Well, you tell me when.
Mavic 3. We got a couple other quick things to go over here, and it's mostly going to be. Hey, Marcus, I just did it. I said Mavic 3. Remember, you said in your video. Yeah.
I hear you.
You know, from now on, to make it easier, I'm just going to say Air. When I say Air tonight, I mean Air 3. It's just going to be easier for you not to keep saying 3, because then I'll be like this. When I say Air, I mean the Air 3. Okay. We got a DroneNation Deal today tonight, and this is sent in to us by our good friend John Flynn, Flying Flynn Media. He was a guest on the show here recently. he found the Samsung portable SD T7 Touch, a drive for only $129.99 at Costco. And why this is a great drone deal is because, it's great for storing all that drone footage that you take. And these drives are real fast. So you can put this video on these drives, hook them up to your computer and add it, or your iPad Pro and add it externally on these drives. I mean, you don't even have to move the stuff to your computer if you don't want to. These little drives are so fast.
That's a great buy.
That's a great deal on an SSD drive.
I say 2 terabyte. 2 terabyte. I don't think I mentioned it.
Well, yeah, 2 terabytes. That's the thing. It's a big. So like when you're traveling and you're moving boy, you're not going to fill that thing up.
Yeah, no lie.
See, the cheapest I've seen a 2 terabyte SSD, I think SanDisk had one. It was $259.
Boom.
So that's a good deal.
Thank you, John, for finding that. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people. I don't have I have Sam's Clubs in my area, not Costco's.
Ron, I'll pick one up and send it to you.
Thanks, Marcus. I'll take one.
It'll cost you more to ship it across the country than me to pay more or whatever.
I'll order it on Costco.com for you, and they'll ship it.
Really? Well, right. I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
How much was that, Marcus? $199?
No. It was $129, wasn't it?
$129, Johnny.
Hey,
yeah.
if you're reshipping it. Yeah.
Damn it, Johnny. I'm sorry. I messed it up. Sorry, pal.
Yeah. Anyhow, go out there either to your local Costco or, as Marcus suggested, for us dummies, just go on Costco.com and look it up and order. Does Costco offer free shipping on things over a certain amount of money?
I believe that they do. Yeah, I don't. In fact, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever paid for shipping on ordering something from Costco, but I'm trying to remember if I ever. It's always been more expensive.
$100 should be enough to qualify you for free
yeah.
shipping on this. So anyhow, thank you, John. Great deal. And let's get on to one of the big stories for tonight's show. We just got the email this morning. Came somewhere after 9 o'clock for me anyways, on East Coast time. It's time to shine. We've been kind of teasing this thing for a couple weeks now, up to a month or whatever. What's his name started leaking it out even before the Air 3 came out. Our good friend Igor. The DJI has another event scheduled for 8/2/2023, which is Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's always 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they release the Action 4 camera. And according to leaks, it will support a 1/1.3 sensor size camera, same size as in the new Air 3 drone, and also we'll get a price bump to $399. That's according to the leakers. None of this is confirmed by DJI. Even the camera's not confirmed by DJI, only that they have a time to shine event. Marcus.
Oh, I just want to interrupt you for a second, Ron. And if anybody in the chat has this answer, I believe that 1/1.3, and people correct me if I'm wrong, it's essentially a 3/4 inch sensor. That's my understanding.
Yeah, it's slightly smaller than a 1 inch.
Yeah, it's less than a 1 inch. It's
Yeah.
Lon said coincidence. I don't think so.
Yeah. But Lon would know. Is it? I believe it's 3/4 inch.
Yeah. So anyhow, we kind of came unexpected because it's not even a year yet since the Action 3 debuted.
Yeah.
And usually these action cameras come out in September that kind of go along with GoPro's kind of release schedule. Last year, they released them on the same day, I believe, in September. But now DJI is getting more than a month jump on the what we think would be the GoPro 12 coming out. So, this is interesting. And Bill Thomas already put in the chat, will this have the same stack sensor that the Air 3 drone has? I guess we'll find out on Wednesday on that because I haven't seen leaks on that. But I'll go to Bill first. Bill, what do you think of this? I mean, we kind of all knew this is coming, but what do you think now that's actually going to happen in about 36 hours?
I'm kind of scratching my head for several reasons. One, the timing of it. I mean, not the timing of it in proportion to the Air 3 release, but the timing in release to the 08, the Osmo Action 3 that came out. Okay, because I don't think it's been a year, if I'm not correct. That the 08
I mean, less than 11 months, Bill.
Yeah, less than 11 months, and this is kind of fast. And I've looked at the specs and I've looked at everything, and to me, and this is just my gut feel. This isn't this isn't based on anything, but my gut feel is it's like it's a redo of the OA3. That's what I'm feeling like here. They've
Incremental upgrade.
Yeah, they've tweaked it a little bit. They've done some things to it. They've like DJI likes to hook you in. Okay, they've done that with this.
Yeah.
And it looks appealing. But you know what? They have to. Show me the money. Okay.
But what you're saying is basically what all the people that aren't going to buy the Air 3 are saying about the Air 3.
Well, I'm saying it because I'll tell you what, my Osmo Action 1, that thing's been golden since day one.
That's what everybody says.
I haven't had a problem with it. None.
So's mine. But
DeMarco has that one.
DeMarco has it. Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it. I think for me, it's going to have to be hard pressed. Somebody's going to have to do cartwheels and walk on water with their hands in order for me to get another.
I mean, what if it does have the same stack sensor that the Air 3 has, and it takes that incredible low light video, or that won't be enough?
It's the thing. The thing for me with the action cameras is this, because I know Marcus has had his go around with the GoPros. Okay, really, he's had a lot of frustrations with it. And I know he's like his OA too. I know he says that's worked real well. And here's my thing with action cameras. If you find one that works and works well, there's no need. For me, there's like no need for me to upgrade. Okay, because it works well. It's in my workflow. I got my mic attached to it. It works. I download from seamless. Everything is seamless with that. And I get video. I think is just golden.
No, you make a good point, Bill. We'll go to Johnny. He's as well with Marcus. He's an owner of the DJI Action 2, which is kind of the outlier in the action line for DJI because it's a smaller module system compared to the box type of camera that that the 1, the 3, and the 4 are from GoPro. But Johnny, what are your thoughts on?
Well, I was just reading some of the comments, and I was reading Lon, of course. There, he said it all flows smooth with that the Air 3, and it's. I was reading Steve said it's a stack sensor. So yeah, I would be interested. I want to see the specs, but my Action 2 is fine, and of course, I think the low light capability might be, but I'm not so sure about so much action at filming at night with that. But for me, my Action 2 is fine right now, so I'm just going to hang tight. But I will consider it. Yeah.
And DeMarco, you're still holding firm with that Action 1.
I'm still rocking the Action 1, no. So I'm not planning to actually upgrade anytime soon. But I'll ask you this: is the Action 2 that body size dead? Do you think?
It seems to be.
Not for the people who like it.
Yeah. I haven't seen one for a while, so
yeah, 2 now. Yeah.
Marcus?
What about you, Ron?
We'll go with Marcus first.
Okay. Well, I can say at the outset, me and Johnny both like them stacked, so stacked sensor would be good. And hey, what do you? I was talking about the camera, Johnny.
Get our minds out of the gutter here.
Yeah, but the thing that is important to me is workflow, and that's what I love about the Action 2. It so vastly improved my workflow. Easy to set up, works flawlessly. So that's a big factor. If there's an improvement in workflow with this camera, and what I mean by that is, could it just accept a wireless mic without attaching a receiver to it, that sort of thing, and ease of getting it set up. Second issue for me, and Ron knows this, we've talked about it a lot, is heat management. And to be fair, and Ron and I talked about this again the other day too, the way we tend to use, or the way I use action cameras is honestly not really how they're intended. I tend to put it on a tripod, and it's recording for a half an hour.
But Marcus, have you ever had a problem with the heat on Action 2?
A very little bit. I can tell you this. So when I'm talking about when I was at the Canyon a couple days ago, man, Johnny, it was 97 degrees. I knew that thing was not going to run. I knew it wasn't going to run.
Yeah, right.
So I just recorded a segment, and I shut it off completely while I was flying the drone. Again,
and that's the heat management you just talked about a minute ago.
And that's my point, because ideally I would have liked to have recorded audio to the camera and still have the camera going. And why, do you ask? Because often I'm not showing that camera view in the video, but occasionally you want to hold the controller up and show it on camera or those kinds of things. And so that's why I typically have that camera running the whole time I'm flying the drone. And on those really hot days, there's no way. I don't think any action camera.
I was going to say, Mark, in all fairness, any of these small, like almost pocket cameras, all would overheat in that type of environment you were in.
Yeah. But to Bill's point, the video quality, it's good enough for me. I mean, so in fact, often the video quality you get off of that action camera is, better than some of the little toy drones that I fly, etc. Right? So it always looks really good, and then you switch to the drone and you go, "Wow, gee." But heat management and workflow are a couple of things that are important to me, and anything else is bonus. If it had that stack sensor, takes better video and better stabilization, because occasionally I will hand hold it, etc. That would be awesome. Those are the kind of things that could get me to buy it. But like Bill and like all of us have said so far, Ron, I don't think I'm going to buy it, but never say never.
Never say never.
Yeah, Jackie showed us her GoPro 1 yesterday. Was that a GoPro 1?
No, she showed us it was a 4. It was a 3.
Oh, had 3 on those a long time.
Yeah. Well, Ron, is it worth explaining why she still uses that? I thought it was genius.
Well, yeah. Well, it's only 1080p, camera, but it doesn't have any stabilization. She mounts it and still can get some, secondary. She actually runs two B-roll cameras, so as a secondary B-roll camera, it may grab a shot or two.
So what she's saying is, if she is like setting it up and she's walking down a trail or something, she'll leave it there while she's walking all the way up a mountain and then pick it up on her way back.
Yeah,
and she has that footage.
You get that shot walking out.
Yeah.
And my thoughts are, I've never owned a DJI action camera. I've 1, 2, 3. I've never owned any, so maybe it will be my first one. I've owned GoPros, and I didn't buy last year. I didn't buy anything last year. I just kept my GoPro 10. But here's what I think a wise man may do, and I'm not saying I'm a wise man. Okay, this thing's going to come out Wednesday, and of course, the reviews will come out, and then the people actually buy it will have it. But I'm just going to sit back until the middle of September, wait till the GoPro Hero 12 comes out, and then I'm going to do, a side-by-side comparison, on the specs and everything, and the videos and whatever, and then I'll make my decision at that point, which camera best fits my needs.
And maybe it'll go on sale too, right, Ron?
It could be on sale by then.
They could, because they might be trying to one up GoPro. The other thing is, you remember when, and I, just because it happens one time doesn't going to mean it's going to happen again. However, when that Action 3 first came out, they had a soft focus issue at first. Yeah. They eventually solved it, but
Ron, you can wait for the Action 5. Just saying.
or the S.
The Osmo Action 4S,
Marcus made a really good point here. I don't think any of us use an action cam as it's designed. Okay, we're not like
Sean Oz uses an action.
We're not like Sean Oz. Okay, we're not skateboarders. We don't snowboard. We use it. I use it for B-roll for most of the time, and sometimes I do some.
We can barely walk out to the field and get the drone out of the car, let alone do that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I might do some vlogging with it, but and B-roll, and you know what? It really is good enough.
Maybe they'll make a senior edition. And
there you go.
No. There already is a senior edition, Johnny. You get a full size camera with plenty of venting, and hit the record button or whatever. Just mount that big old camera tripod, hit record, and you get all that venting.
Yeah, they have a junior edition and a senior edition.
The thing is, the senior edition will be about this big, because it'll have to have the big screen on there.
You just use your phone in.
Yeah.
Hey, there's been some comments in the chat there about Marcus's comment. A lot of them said that the size of this sensor that we're talking about is 0.76. Somebody said 0.77. So just right in that 0.75 that Marcus said, it's actually just a hair bigger there by the comments in there. And a couple of people, Steve Jones looks like he leaked out that this is a stack sensor on the the 4 that's coming on Wednesday. So it's going to be interesting release, and I can't wait to see if the people that get it really think it's a great video proof, because I mean, you got all cameras could do this or that, and every camera has overheating issues. Dustin Dunnell had a terrible overheating issue with the Action 2 the other day on his review. But that's all important. But to me, number one is video quality. Everything comes secondary after the video quality.
Hey, Ron, can I show you something with that? When they're talking about the overheating with this drone. So with this camera, one of the things that DJI did is they made this cover that goes around it, and for some reason it helps it dissipate heat. And of course now I can't get the cover off of there. I'm trying to push it out to show you guys. Yeah. Anyway, mine is stuck on there really good.
It's hard to get off on that.
Yeah, but I have 2 of them. And this one I don't have that cover for. And let me tell you, there's a huge difference. That cover really makes a difference in how long this guy lasts in the heat.
Thanks for that information.
Yeah.
Are we going to do a little launch party, a small launch party on Wednesday for the Action 3? Or are you guys just going to stay in bed?
You're our boss, Ron. You're our boss. We do what you tell us.
I'll get up and do a little Action 4 coverage. I'll send a link out if anybody else wants to join.
You just tell me, buddy. I'll be there.
Okay, we're gonna do it then. I don't know if we've ever done an action camera launch party before, but we're doing new things as we get international Drone Nation, Action Camera Nation. So we're expanding. But listen, we better move on because everybody wants to hear about the Air 3. So let's move through these stories here. Okay, today the 7/31 was the launch day for the Fimi Manta. Who ordered the Manta and who received it today? Show of hands. Show of hands.
Okay. Here's what I see from it, and I've read through. It's $175. There's no camera.
I saw 139.
39, yeah.
Okay. All right. Then they changed from what I saw. There's
maybe
no
you
camera.
Maybe you got the loaded model, the plus model.
Yeah, there's no camera in it, and I stopped at that point. I'm like, okay, and I'm gonna say
that you put a DJI Air unit in it.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm just easy pass for me.
Is this thing actually available, Bill? I wonder if anybody could actually order it and get a shipping notification, or it's just something on the website.
No, I think you're gonna get it because I think this thing looks like. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It looks like it's made out of styrofoam.
Did the reviews pop up today?
No, not really.
Yeah. No, they had a couple of videos, but they were really vague. They were showing it from so far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DeMarco and I had the same opinion. DeMarco, tell them what we were thinking today.
Yeah, I mean, it looked. I like stuff like that, and I looked online to see if I can see a real review. I didn't see any real reviews. They were just showing it from afar and showing videos we had seen already. Marcus, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, what we were saying was that if it came in an all-in-one package.
Yeah.
So what I'm not interested in is programming a remote and mounting the camera and all that stuff. If it was an all-in-one package, I like the idea of a fixed wing like that. Well, Bill, I know you've done some of that. Yeah. I like that idea. I think it'd be like out at the Snake River Canyon. That'd be a riot.
Yeah, that'd be perfect for something like that, or down for me down by the Skyway Bridge. That would be perfect for that. Yeah. But like you said, having to put all that together, no,
it's not me.
You know what?
Yeah,
fly and go. Okay, fly and go. That's what or I should say, buy and go. Really.
So this gets more for a builder, almost like an FPV type of guy that likes to build everything from scratch.
Yeah, Johnnie calls that RTF, ready to fly.
Yeah, Maddie's saying it's more. Of course, it's more of an FPV thing. It is similar, very
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the VTOLs are made out of that material. So, because the guy had one out there that took Maddie's out, and it just looked like a big old styrofoam, you know.
What's the most interesting thing about is the 139 price point. Even if it stinks, it's only 139, huh?
Yeah.
So okay, well, we'll if we ever get more information out, we'll come back to another show here, since it's all speculation at this point. And according to some reports out there, the DJI RC Pro is still not working with a new Air 3. Even after receiving a firmware update last week, I don't have the Air 3, so I can't say. Marcus, have you tried to pair the RC Pro with?
Yes, and it does not come up on the RC Pro.
Okay.
I was just going to pull mine out and look, because I did that update, Bill, that you're saying
I did the update, and before the show tonight, about 8:30, I got the RC Pro out, fired up the Air 3. There's no Air 3 on the menu for the RC Pro. It's not there.
So still waiting. But
and I did the update. So
yeah. So, but it probably is coming, but still waiting. Okay, now let's get into what everybody wants to hear about here. We're already at the 8:36 mark here. We got Bill and Marcus on the show tonight. They both have received their Air 3 already. I believe they both got it last Thursday.
Yes, mine came Thursday about 7:00.
Yeah, and I know Marcus is waiting for his a while too when I talked to him that day. Okay, here's the big question. Were they impressed with it? Both of them have done an unboxing video, and both of them, they both had first flights. Marcus has the first flight posted. Bill, you do not have it posted yet, right?
No, it's in my workflow. I'm gonna get it out tomorrow.
Yeah. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Bill, you go first. Tell us your first impressions.
Okay, the first thing I'm going to say is this, and what I want to do is point out some things that I think can be improved. Okay, this gimbal cover, it's a pain in the butt. Okay,
I got a trick to show you.
You gotta push down on this, and it's almost to the point like you're feeling like it's going to break. Okay.
Oh boy.
And what I've done is just some slight pressure, and then it'll come off. So I'm not real happy about that. This is a known thing, okay? But I'm going to show you. This is my 65-watt DJI adapter, all right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it took for me to charge all batteries from ground up, and the exclusive of the controller, it took 4 hours to charge.
So you'd recommend the 100-watt charger then?
So I bought the 100-watt charger. It hasn't arrived. It's supposed to get here tomorrow. I got it from the mothership. It'll be here tomorrow. Okay.
Right.
One of the other things that I thought was a big miss for DJI, and this is bad. This is really bad. Okay. The case.
Oh, your favorite bag there, Bill.
It's not the case itself, but this clasp. Okay. There's like it's like it comes off so easy. It's not funny. The way it clasps on here, it just goes over it. And it holds it just a little, okay? So this can really easily come off. I mean, it's not. I think it's a flaw. I think DJI.
You're just good with class, Bill.
Had a boo boo with this one. I really think they had a miss.
All your stuff could easily fall out then, Bill, and if you had it in the car or something.
Yeah. So this is for me. This is going to be a nice ornamental piece. This is going to collect some good dust, because that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Maybe you use as a lunchbox for work, Bill.
That's possible. The other thing that I wanted to say initially, okay, getting these batteries out, all right, and you're supposed to press this button to get them out. It's like these batteries don't want to come out of here. All right, it's like really difficult for it to come out. I mean, I had to put some good force on it to get this out of here. And when it snaps in, it snaps in. But this thing is heavy. I'm going to say 5, 6, 7 pounds. I mean, this is pretty beefy here in terms of the weight. One of the other things that I was really impressed with out of the gate was the 700 nits on this guy. Now, Florida sunshine, it's pretty doggone bright down here. Our UV index is through the roof. I had no problem seeing the screen yesterday, and I was facing the sun. I had zero problems with that. It absolutely was spot on. No issues whatsoever. Now, for my first flight, I'm not going to give you all the secrets, but really. really, it's a first flight video. What can I say? No, but a couple things that impressed me. Okay, and we knew this already. The ascent and descent speeds, they're just crazy. It's just like it was at 125 feet before I even knew it, before I even blinked an eye.
Wow.
Now I did all my calibrations. I did a gimbal calibration. I did an IMU calibration. I did a compass calibration on the drone. I did a compass calibration on the controller. I did a stick calibration on the controller. I mean, I did everything. Okay. Crossed all my I's, dots all my T's, formatted the SD card. Like I said, I spent more time doing that than actually going out and flying the drone yesterday. Okay. It felt like that. But I'll tell you what, it was smooth. It was, it's so refreshing to take a drone, a DJI drone out and point your sticks, and it's going to go where you're wanting it to go. Okay, there's going to be.
I'm going to say, Bill, did it fly? Did it fly like your standard DJI drone? Meaning that's good.
Oh yeah. Now, one of the things that I kind of did accidentally, but as a test, okay. Of course, I had my antennas up on the controller yesterday. Now, what I did was, okay, I kind of was flying it, and I flew it over my head, but I was still facing this direction, and I still made it to 1,200 feet, which is where the highway is, where I always stop, and there was no signal degradation at all with that. Okay, now granted I had the antennas up, but I wasn't facing the drone when I flew that. That impressed me a lot. That did.
You think that's the octane 4 kicking in?
Right. Now the other thing that I really liked on this too, and I wasn't prepared for it, but was a kind of a pleasant surprise. The memory on here is better. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I did put an SD card in here, but according to the internal memory, it looked like there was more memory than the original DJI RC. I may be wrong with that, but it looked like there is. In the file transfer,
I think it says 8, and it was 8 on the RC.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I might have been wrong. But one of the things that I do set up to do for my workflow is after I've done a screen recording with this, I Bluetooth it over to my phone, and it was seamless, absolutely seamless.
Oh, really?
Zero problems with that. Yeah, I have my Galaxy S22. That's what I use for my B-roll, okay. and I send it over there right away. And then one of the other things that I do with my workflow when I'm done shooting everything, except for the drone footage, I send it to Dropbox, so it's on my PC, so I don't have any issues with that. All in all, the color was what I expected because I've already looked at the footage from it. It's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. The colors were true. Okay, they weren't blown out. They weren't subdued. They were true to what the colors are, what they really are, and I really like that. It was quiet. I was impressed with how quiet it was. I saw it coming overhead. Of course, I'm keeping an eye on it, but I didn't hear it until like it was almost just overhead, right on top of me. And so, my long story short here. All right. You guys know, I had sold the Mavic 3. I was getting ready to get the Mavic 3 Pro, and then boom, this happened. Okay. So, timing was fortuitous because I realized it was going to be at least 6 weeks for the cast, probably a couple of weeks before I could, be able to fly. So I just returned the Mavic 3 Pro because I kind of had a feeling that the Air 3 was going to come out. And I'll tell you what, my first gut feeling from this, it's a winner. It's solid. It does its job. Little, like I said, just some little tweaks here, physical stuff. But for me, I'm impressed. I think it's going to be a great part of my workflow. I'm going to get out there and really enjoy it.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions for Bill on the panel, or any questions in the chat for Bill on his experience with the Air 3 so far? Johnny?
Bill, did you try night mode at all, or you haven't?
No, that's one of the things that I do want to do, Johnny, is we have a pool up at the clubhouse at night, and it's brilliant. It's all lit up at night.
Right.
And I'm going to plan on later this week, Thursday or Friday, get up there to do that. Cause I think that'll be so I did that with a Mavic 3 and I was with the night mode, and I was real impressed. And I'm going to do this it's one of the first non-testing videos I'm going to do is going to do that.
Gotcha.
DeMarco, any questions for Bill?
Nope. All good.
All right. I don't see anything in the chat yet, but just put them in there and I'll highlight them. Marcus, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with your first flight with the Air 3? Of course, your video is posted. Of course, you did your traditional thing. You took it out of the canyon, and you take it from there.
Hey, so you remember that political TV show where they had point counterpoint?
Oh yeah, yeah.
One guy on one side, one guy.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that's me and Bill today.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good show.
So first off, and Bill, listen, I messed this up to begin with too, but they have instructions. You just press down on the top, and it releases that bottom. But when you press down on the top, it just releases that bottom part right there. But I will say this is like you talked about on the Mini 3, Ron. That they give you this foam collar to put around make sure you pull it. It's so easy to forget that. But it's good because it does hold the gimbal in place.
Nice.
So anyway, in fact, Bill, they had a sticker on there, and trust me, I didn't read it either. But once you do that, it works, and you just clip it right back on. But the other thing that I'm going to disagree with Bill about, I think this flipping case, I think this is the best case that DJI has ever given us with a drone or bag.
And cases are kind of like ladies' handbags. They're like personal. It's not a personal item.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. But what I like is number one, it's really high quality fabric, and then inside it's really soft, so you're not worried about scratching your controller or anything in there when you're sticking it in there. And I don't know if you're not going to be able to see it, but on the drone side, there's a foam cutout in there, so that when the gimbal fits right down into that cutout, so it holds it in place really well. And Bill, to your point, I don't know. I know what you're saying. That's just a little clip right there that you pull down. But I mean, I toted this thing around. I carried it, man, and I didn't.
Marcus, show us that carry handle in the back.
Yeah, so that's an issue. So listen, I don't care for the shoulder strap. I don't care for shoulder straps. So there is a handle right here, but the other thing that happens, of course, is often I'll just take the shoulder strap off, but you can't on this one because it's sewn in on this side. So you know what I did? I took a little Velcro strip and I just strapped it on there so it holds it in place.
A little MacGyver there.
So anyway,
can I stop you just for a second,
Yeah.
Mark? We have a quick question on the screen here from BJax DC, and we'll address this to Bill and Marcus mostly. He said, "Hey guys, first time DJI buyer. Well, that's you're making a good choice right there. Should I buy the Air 2S or the Air 3?
The Air 3.
Yeah, I would say the Air 3. Not knowing his situation in terms of his money, I'll put if you can afford the Air 3, buy it. It's just the stack sensor on there. It's just the value
about the money because you can get a heck of a deal on Air 2S right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my son-in-law, he bought one. He bought a refurbished Flymore kit for I think $7.99. Okay, it's a steal. It's a great deal. But I'm looking at that Air 3. The quality on there is out of this world.
Well, thanks guys for answering his question. We'll get back to Marcus's review now.
Right on. So like Bill, I don't have a lot of experience with the drone yet. There's a ton of stuff I want to try with it, but I did get out over the canyon and got to mess around with the ascent and descent speed a little bit, and it's phenomenal. I got to test both the lenses on there, and I thought the quality looked real good. Somebody was telling me that they thought that the quality of the 3x on the Mavic Pro is better than the quality of the 3x.
Really?
Listen, who knows? I can't tell you. Somebody was I'm trying to remember who was telling me that, but in any case, I thought they both looked really good.
Well, I was going to say, I thought the highlight of that video was when you use the 3X to get way down the canyon. I thought that was some of the best shots you ever got of the canyon.
Totally agree. Got right down in on the, and plus I was pleased with the digital zoom as well. I thought it looked pretty sharp for, just cropping in on the sensor. Then as far as flight controls, I totally agree with Bill. They're DJI flight controls. It's just phenomenal, and it's such a pleasure to fly. Bill, you've flown Fimis like me and some of that other stuff. I mean, it's just such a pleasure to fly a product that it almost flies itself. Makes it really, really good. And then the other thing, Bill, on our counterpoint is I'm going to disagree with you on and if you watch my video, you saw me struggling. This 700 nit screen, it's good, but it wasn't good enough in the bright sunlight out there on the canyon.
And Marcus, tell us about the finger burn.
I will. I was going to get to that.
You're getting there. You're getting there. Sorry.
A couple of things that I like, and Bill, I'll agree with you here. Unlike my iPhone, it never got so dark that I couldn't see what I was doing. I mean, I could always see what I was doing. The only issue that I had is you lose detail, right? As it darkens up, you look at something down there. Well, is that a person standing down there, or is it a rock? I mean, or whatever. You just don't see that level of detail when the screen is brighter. Secondly, I'm glad they put a fan in this guy. Trust me, that fan came on pretty quick when I was running it out there. And it does get really hot, to Ron's point. So when I had it in return to home on the way back, I was doing that trick where you push with your finger and you can move the gimbal sideways. I mean, I flipping burnt my finger, and I'm not joking. It hurt. It was I don't know how hot it was, but it was damn hot. That's what I can tell you there.
Marcus, interestingly, Dustin Donald, he did his review out in the bright sunlight too in New Mexico, and he touched the screen to demonstrate how you can move the camera around you with that touch function. And he never mentioned that the screen was hot, and he flew 3 straight batteries.
Well, I don't know where he may not have been in the direction. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to tell you, and Bill, I'd be interested to see if you noticed this too. I felt like the touchscreen was more responsive. The screen itself was just more responsive than just the DJI RC, the previous version. So
yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, I thought there was little lag between pushing a button and getting action.
On the DJI RC, yeah, and they seem to have solved that with this guy.
Marcus, what about the transmission signal? Could you tell where you were at out there? Or, I mean,
don't tell anybody, Johnny, but I was out about nearly 3 kilometers, and the only time I ever saw.
Wait! How far is a kilometer? This is Louisiana.
Yeah. The only time I saw any kind of a signal degradation is at one point I kind of started getting around and was blocked by terrain in the canyon, and then even then, it just was a couple of little blips on the screen. Right. It was it was still good. Yeah.
Well, if you watch Billy's latest video, he put up something today, and that was pretty interesting. You know how he talked about the 04 and the 03.
Really? To look for that. So,
hey, Lon Dennard, I resemble that remark.
We saw that a minute ago.
Just his fingers is.
Just his finger line. Hey, thank you so much for that review, Marcus. And he's a full video out on YouTube. You can check his whole first flight out. And Bill will have his up soon.
Bill's will be out soon.
And now we kind of have a tale of woe here now. Johnnie DroneFlyer purchased his drone almost at practically the same time as Marcus and Bill did last week. And at last report, I think Johnny's air tube was still stuck in the Big Easy down there.
Yeah, mine made it. Mine never did say. I think Marcus's, did yours say Friday originally and you got it Thursday?
Yep.
Here's the difference.
Yeah, it's about 2,000 miles. That's the difference.
Well, no. Our friend Bill, the drone reviewer, knows Frank Wang personally.
Oh,
he put a word in for me when I ordered mine.
I hear you. Yeah. Well, No, yeah, mine is in New Orleans. It'll be here tomorrow sometime. So yeah, but
Maybe.
and Bob Casey, and I think Marcus and I know Bob's a delayed, and Marcus and I talked on the phone. You know, I think what you said, Marcus, you know, they got that initial order, and you know, people who ordered just a few hours later, it's delayed a little bit. Although,
I've seen people delayed all the way until Wednesday now. So I mean, there was a rash of delays in this drone. Johnny's not the only one out there, and you know, guys, I noticed on Amazon on Wednesday, if I'd ordered on Amazon, it would have came like, you know, 2 days have been here Friday. But now if you tried to get the Fly More Deluxe kit with the RC2, it's backed up for weeks now, whatever. You can buy that standard 1099 kit and have it delivered in 2 days.
Yeah, our friend Bob Casey found that out, didn't he?
And Best Buy the same way, I think, right now.
Yeah. It's that's on back order already. So, and this is one of those kits where, I mean, this is one of the times where you really do want that deluxe Fly More kit, because that controller is almost as an important piece of the pie here as the drone is with that.
I'm laughing at mom. No, but hey, it was a great release by DJI. You know, like for you guys, yeah, you ordered it. You know, Marcus, you ordered it Tuesday morning, and here it is Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, even look at you, John. If it comes tomorrow on a Tuesday, it still came in less than a week. So that's still a good. That's still a good time for most drone releases to get it in less than 1 week. And I know Bill probably wants to run, so I got one.
No. I got something else I want to add.
Okay.
I emailed Lycus, who I have case for the Mavic 3, and for the Mini 3 Pro, and they make great cases.
Mike Ray showed us his Lycus case when we were in Florida for the meetup.
They're $50 to $65. Guys, get these cases. The one thing that I like about them, and I was taught early on by Rick Smith, okay? He told me, he said, when you look for a case, you want to make sure that when it's sitting in the foam, that the prop lines are below that foam, okay? And that it's not touching the bottom. Lycus does that with all these cases. And the biggest thing is they're $55 to $60, okay? That's how much they are. The head person at Lycus emailed me back. They will be ready in 25 to 30 days. He said they just got their hands on an Air 3. They'll have it ready to go in 25 to 30 days. He's going to email me as soon as it's ready. So I'll let everybody know about that.
Survive with the bag for that lifetime. Real quick, Marcus, Air Photography dropped in, and he said his is delayed until next Tuesday now. Sean's up in Canada, and Sean's actually, you know, living this summer out in the wilderness, and he had a tough time, you know, finding a place that, you know, would accept it because of the LiPo batteries, because he has to have it sent to like a, you know, UPS type of store or whatever, where he can go pick it up, since he doesn't have a permanent address now. If any of you people, if you haven't been following Sean's adventures this summer out camping or whatever, they're kind of interesting vlogs up there on the Air Photography YouTube channel. So, and I'm glad Sean's even here tonight, because he usually has bad internet, you know, being outdoors. Maybe he's in a first class hotel tonight, uploading a bunch of
videos. He's roughing it tonight.
Yeah. I'm sure he's ready for that action for release on.
So what that's the thing. If you want to know about that Action 4, watch Air
the man. Yeah, and he could use that in the wilderness or whatever. But
so what about ND filters? Is that coming out soon
for the drone? Now, Marcus said he's already been contacted by.
Those people at Freewell, and Bill, I bet you they got a hold of you too. They are the nicest people that ever.
They're really nice.
You know, I mean, I think the same day I ordered, I think I got an email from them. They said, "Hey, do you want to try some filters for it?" And yeah, so they're on the way.
There are already some kind of no-name filters available on Amazon. Look, and DJI filters are already out too. They don't come with the firmware kit, but they're
sold out now though.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, Ron. So, and Bill, I'll bet you have something to say about this too. A lot of folks, because when we got the Air 2S Fly More combo, A, it came with a charge brick. B, it came with ND filters.
Yeah.
This one did not. So it's essentially a price raise, right? Because I had to spend another $100.
Another $100
on that charger. And unfortunately,
you wouldn't have got a 100-watt charger if they were just throwing it in, though.
No, but even I would have been satisfied with it. I mean, yeah, 65, but at least you'd have a charger. Here's the thing, and Bill, I know you agree. I like having a whole kit in a bag. I like having it all there.
100%. I agree. 100%.
Yeah,
That was
and
DJI's big mistake.
Yeah, I totally agree with these guys, but the whole world's going to not throwing the charger in anymore. So,
Well,
I don't expect DJI to.
And I'll tell you what, Ron, they upped the price and they took stuff out. All right. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, and I think Marcus would agree with me. I'll pay an extra $100 for a 100-watt charger. I don't care. I like having everything there. I'm lucky I have these guys on standby so I could use these. One of the other things that I wanted to say was I purchased 2-year care refresh, okay, and I am very impressed. Well, Adorama, this is only believe it or not, I bought my very first drone, the Autel X-Star Premium from Adorama years ago. This is who I bought the Air 3 through. I ordered care refresh. It was the day before I got it. It was on Wednesday. They sent me an email for the link to get to register it. It came, boom, done. It was very expedient, very good. And I really like this version of Care Refresh. I like what they've done with the program.
I think, Bill, you like the new Care Refresh program.
Yes, it's worth every penny. I have absolutely no qualms and quarrels about it.
So if you buy the 2-year, you get 1 year extra?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that?
Hey, I got one more thing I want to bring up, Ron, before we get off the subject. And I'm still trying to figure this out in my own head. So I'm not saying this definitively, but Ron, I've talked about it with you, and I've talked about it with DeMarco before. Maybe Johnny, I think you and I talked about it as well. So everything that this drone brings to the table, had I known that when I ordered the Mavic 3 Pro, would I have ordered it? And I love that Mavic 3 Pro, don't get me wrong. But you know what? I don't think I would. I think I'd have been happy with this, and I would have still had that Mavic 3 that I sold to my friend DeMarco. And DeMarco, what did you, when I told you that, what did you tell me?
No, same thing. In fact, we were just coming back from the South Florida drone meetup, and I sat down next to Billy Doe and grilled him. At the time, he knew nothing about it. He knew nothing about it, though. But if he would have hesitated just a little bit, I probably would have waited. But I'm not upset or like. No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, and neither am I. But you told me that you probably wouldn't have bought that Mavic 3 for me had you known that this Air 3.
Waited.
Yeah, everything that it had on it. And Johnny and I have had numerous conversations. I've been giving Johnny just hell for a long time. No, I've been good-natured for not buying the Mavic 3 because Johnny's a guy that I know would appreciate it, right? I know he would appreciate that drone. But now with this guy, Johnny, I wouldn't buy the Mavic 3. This guy's going to do everything he wants to do.
Hey, listen, Bill, Marcus brings up a good point here. Do you think DJI kind of should have reversed the order that this Air 3 should have been the one to come out, say at the end of May or whatever, and the Mavic 3 Pro should have been held back to come out, at the end of July?
That's a good point, but I think they'd have shot themselves in the foot had they done that, because you know what? If the Air 3 had come out before the Mavic 3 Pro, everybody said, Mavic 3 Pro, I don't need it. I got the Air 3. Okay. It does almost everything the Mavic 3 Pro is. Why do I want that? So I think they did it in right order. But here's my thing. Okay.
Right order for them, but not for the consumer.
For them, but not for the consumers. Okay. They're always guys, they're out for themselves. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. Okay. I'm going to go back to something Dobo told me years ago, and you know this too. The best drone is the one that you have right now. Okay. Which I agree with. Okay. And we talked about this last week, maybe on the release show, maybe on Rotor Talk. I'm not 100% sure, but we talked about this, and this really is kind of a key. All right. Everybody said, and I'm going to go back. Okay. This is a few years. I'm going to go back how everybody was saying that the Phantom 5 was, imminent. It's coming out. It's going to be here. Okay. So everybody's like, oh, they're selling their Phantom 4s, Pros, and they're waiting for the Phantom 5. Guess what? No Phantom 5. Okay. And you know what? And we talked about this in terms of the Air 3 and the Air 3S, which people are talking. I'm going to wait for the Air 3S. And I said, well, you know what? You're promised today. You're not promised tomorrow. Okay. And if there's something out there that you want, go for it. Okay. Because I'll tell you what. All right. a lot of times you snooze, you lose, and I'm just calling it like it is. All right. And I think, at hindsight been 2020. Look what I did. Okay. I had the Mavic 3 Pro. I sent it back because of an accident. Okay. Which ended up benefiting me in the long run because I got the Air 3. Okay. And I don't have a Mavic 3 Pro to sell now, which it worked out for me. So, and one thing that I'm hoping for, just for grins and giggles, because I like the DJI RC Pro. I hope it ends up getting compatible with this. Okay. I understand the range is important for a lot of people, and I get it. All right. But you know what? I still like that RC Pro. I still like the feel of it. It is a little bit heavier, but it works, and it works really well. So I'm kind of hoping to be able to use that with this. I'm hoping eventually that'll get taken care of.
Hey, DeMarco just has to jump off, Ron, so just want to let you know. But thank you, DeMarco, for coming on the show tonight.
Yes, thank you, DeMarco.
Yeah. Hey, I got the Billy story here, but I'm going to jump to the topic 9 here first, since we're hot on the Air 3. I'm going to ask this to Marcus and Bill here. Well, Johnny too, but I mean, they have the drone. But anybody, what is the best new feature of the Air 3? I say new feature, so like you can't say like Master Shots because it was there before. But what's the best new feature for an Air 3 buyer?
Bill, go first.
I was kind of thinking on this one, and one of the things for me, all right, and this is just me, all right. It just the quality out of the box, the fit, the finish, everything. Okay, there's no one feature in particular for me, but it's so refreshing to me that everything works. Okay. Firmware update for the controller, firmware update for the drone, and it was ready to rock and roll right out of the box. And I knew that when I popped that SD card in my PC, I knew I was going to look at good footage, even though, it's 4K 30 FPS. Okay. I didn't want to go crazy for the first flight. I just wanted to get a first flight in under my belt, and I wanted to get out there and look at it. And it looks good. Okay. It looks really good. So I'm excited about it. It's going to open up a lot of doors. Let me put it to you this way, and you guys know this too, okay? What did Dobo ended up doing, okay? It's going to be in his workflow now, okay? That's how impressed he is with this, all right?
Maybe he's being real estate drone, yeah.
Exactly, okay? So that should tell you an awful lot, okay? If that's going to be in his workflow, and he said he's going to end up buying a second one, okay? That's money, okay? That's real money. This drone is going to knock the socks off a lot of people. They will not be disappointed.
Thank you, Bill.
So what I'll say is I've only flown it once, so I can't definitively say what my favorite feature is yet. I can tell you what I think it is. And Lon is putting some good stuff in the chat.
He is. I'm highlighting them.
Yeah, you can name the files as you record them. I didn't know that, Lon. I saw somebody mention it the other day. I need to take a look at that. That's huge.
Tom Downey said something about that, yeah.
That's a big deal. And then the other one, he's saying focus track and cruise control at the same time. That's pretty cool too. Now, what his next comment is the one that, of course, stood out to me, even just looking at the specs before I owned it, and that's the ascent and descent speed. I like a really agile drone that you can move it around quickly and put it in the position that you want. And this guy does that in spades. Now, is that my favorite feature? I don't know yet. I'm going to have to get out and fly it some more, and I'll tell you after a while. But I think what Bill and I will probably agree on is, as much as a single feature, it's that total package that makes this thing so valuable.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's everything combined. Really does it well. And I got to say this, and I know we're probably backtracking here for a second. I really do wish that nobody would have said anything about a concurrent charger, okay? Because that just really muddied up the water big time, all right? But I do like that feature, and I do want to try it out. If I have two batteries that are 50% and one at 75, I want to hit that button so they'll charge up to 75% battery. I do want to see how that ends up working out. I'm excited about that. I got a lot of stuff planned, and I'm going to do my altitude test, okay? And I always call it altitude test. And you know what? I put a disclaimer on there when I do that. I put a link to the FAA, 400 feet AGL, And I said, and if you disagree with that and you post something about it, your comment's going to be deleted. Okay. There's no, I'm not going to put it. Now, I normally will get a lot of views on my altitude videos, which is fine. But I do it for one reason, okay? Everybody's all hepped up about, oh, I want to fly, you know, high and all this kind of stuff, okay? You know what I do? On purpose, I will go down. I'll tilt that gimbal all the way down, look at the ground. I said, look at what you see, okay? And then at 100 feet, I'll do the same thing. Look at what you see, all right? It's a huge difference. You can't see from 400 feet. You can see from 125. You can't see from 400. Plus, you get some rookie behind the sticks up at 400 feet, all right? And they're happy as a clam and everything. And all of a sudden, their orientation, they don't know where they're at because they can't pick out landmarks because they're so high.
Hey, Bill, so I have never had the drone above 400 feet, but I had it below me more than 400 feet.
Right, in the canyon. Yep. Oh, yeah.
That was fun out at the Snake River Canyon. I think
and you got negative on your telemetry. It's fine.
I had, I think, 125 meters negative altitude.
Wow.
And so that's about, I don't know, 450 feet or so below.
You guys remember where, you know, from my old house when I took off, all right? Now, it was out over a lake, but our piece of land was up about 25 feet or so over the lake. So when we shot out, you know, there were times Phantom 4, you know, I took the Phantom 4 Pro down and it was negative. It was negative because of where I took off from. All right. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you know, I'll let Johnny go too. I'm going to jump in first. I think if and when I upgrade to the Air 3, I think the feature, you know, I'm mostly looking forward to it, you know, over say the current Air 3, Air 2S or any Air 2 is that extra 3X tele camera. I think that's the thing I will be looking, you know, most forward to, because I mean, you know, like night mode and waypoints, they're new to that drone, so they should count. But you know, I've had them on other drones, so but that for me, that 3X tele be the reason I upgrade. Johnny, what about you?
Yeah, I think the three tele excites me, and then you know I didn't have I never stepped up to the Mavic 3, so you know the Air 2S I didn't have the night, and of course yeah, I think there's the whole package, like Morgan says. That's what brings me into it. I mean, I had the Evo Light Plus, great drone, low light capability is great, but you know it's not DJI, and that's just the bottom line. But a great drone, I love it. But hey, the whole package is I think what I'm excited about.
I'm just thinking about what Ron just said, that 3X is important to him. Ron, I can't wait to see the videos that you take of Lucy with that 3X zoom.
Like, look back here.
No, he'll be you got Lucy right there. he'll be way out over the ocean with the drone, and it'll be look like he's you know, looking right in Lucy's right between her eyes.
That'll be September, since the Fly More Package Deluxe is sold out for a while, so it'll be. Oh,
that's right. I forgot. Yeah.
But thanks for that. And one more story to get to. This is could be a quickie. Billy Cowell already did a range test. He did the mother of all range tests on the Air 3. He took it out to the salt flats. Where are the salt flats, Mark?
In Utah, they're about 350 miles from me, Ron. Kind of southeast from where I'm at.
Okay, and he did a range test, kind of unlike ones we used to see. He did not make a return trip. He wasn't limited by the battery capacity. He just flew the drone, and for most of the flight, he was only 45 feet off the ground, which Ken told us how good his drone was at lower altitudes, 04. But he had Sarah and another guy in the Tesla, and they had line of sight on the drone the whole way. So he just flew until it forced land, and he got out approximately 60,000 feet, which is about 12 miles. It was a pretty, interesting video. Did anybody else get a chance to see it on the panel?
I didn't see it, but one of the things that I want to say, and you have to realize something too, okay? And this has a lot to do from my ham radio knowledge, okay? And how far signals can travel, okay? And in that air, in the way it is, especially because of the salt, anytime you're around and naturally like an ocean or anything that has that high sodium value, okay, that's gonna help propagate your signal. It's gonna help enhance your signal. So I think, that's a natural effect from being there, because remember, millions of years ago, there was water there. Okay. It wasn't just the flats. Okay. So
the reason we have the Snake River Canyon is because when that Lake Bonneville burst, and
and Billy did mention in the video that, this is a much different condition than his usual flights around East Coast, around the cities and so on.
Yeah. So the conditions were perfect for that kind of a flight. That's what I'm going to say. I haven't seen the video yet, but I'm going to tell you, with that, you're going to be away from the city. You're not going to have interference from other signals, which is huge. I mean, it would be ideal for me to go out there with my ham radio, because, I'd be punching it out there, and I would probably get some good propagation out there and make some good contacts. So, and I think he probably had, and I didn't see it, like I said, he probably had some great signal strength with that all the whole way.
So let me say this. Well, the thing that Ron was impressed with me too is he wasn't like he was way high up. At his highest, he was at 125.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah. So I don't think that I have ever seen anybody fly a drone that far. Could you guys remember? He was 11 miles, Ron. If you do the math, it's 11.
Yeah, I mean, very, very few range tests I've ever seen does the pilot not make the return trip.
Well, yeah, I mean, so he had that unique ability to be able to do that. He was in a situation which is really cool. But my point is, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do a range test.
No, because they went out and tried to come back, but didn't make it back sometimes. Well, Dre just did it with his Phantom 4, but he didn't get it back,
It's actually, the one thing I got to say, he did it the right way. Okay. And what I mean by the right way, he followed the FAA rules. Okay. And this is important. This is something that people need to know. Okay. Is Billy followed the the Part 107 rules and how you do something like this. Okay. It just wasn't, sorry. Oh yeah. That kind of thing. No, he really did it. Okay. And that's a key. That's really important, and something, that, when I talk about the video, I want to make sure other people know you need to make sure that he did it legally and did it the right way.
And of course, he's in an area where there was no people, no buildings, no airports, nothing anywhere in the area. Johnny, you saw the video. Were you pretty impressed with it?
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I loved the video. Yeah, it was. I'm like Marcus. I never seen nobody go that far. I'll be honest with you.
Where no man has gone before, no drone has gone before. So
I mean, my V copter, went out pretty far. That's why that V copter, Marcus, we can trade the V copter for that Mavic 3 Pro. I'm just saying.
Well, why don't you meet Marcus at the Stall Flats and do a range test between the two drones?
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've covered a lot of ground tonight. Anybody in the panel, Bill, Marcus, Johnny, anything you'd like to bring up or expand on that we've touched on tonight, or anything we haven't touched on?
I think we did good, and obviously thank you guys for having me on. It's always a privilege to be on. We have something. We have what I call one of the funnest hobbies out there. Okay, we really have a good time. I know Johnny, Ray, Marcus, Ron, DeMarco, everybody. Everybody that's in the chat. We all have a good time. We all go out there and we enjoy this. Okay. And we'll have our little, this is good. This is not good, that kind of thing. But you know what, and I keep going back to what Dobo's always said, enjoy what you have. If you can afford to upgrade. Okay. If you got something, enjoy it, use it, have fun with it. That's half the thing right there. And you have no idea. Okay. And this is why, there's going to be a special prequel to my first flight video, thanking everybody for hanging in there with me, because it's been at least 2.5, 3 months since I've actually gone out there to fly a drone, and you have no idea how good it felt to be able to do that. And also, too, part of that intro I'm going to do is a dedication to my wife, because without her, I couldn't have been able to fly yesterday. Okay, she really helped me get set up a lot of stuff that I just simply couldn't do. So all in all, it's an exciting time. It's always a lot of fun when a new drone comes out, and it's always going to be fun to put it through its paces and have a good time with it. And I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, and Bill, you got a show come up tomorrow night. You want to preview it a little bit for us?
Yes, I do.
At 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
8 o'clock Eastern. We're gonna continue the conversation tomorrow night. With obviously with the Air 3. We're gonna talk about the Action 4 a little bit. I'm hopeful, crossing my fingers. I've had a super secret special guest that may be on tomorrow night. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to confirm.
Those super secret ones are the best ones, Bill.
Yeah, if not tomorrow night, next week, hopefully, to get this person on. Everybody knows who this person is, and he's very well loved and respected.
Frank Wang.
Yes, it is. Doggone it, Ron. You get that out of the bag. But no, we're gonna continue the discussion tomorrow night, because this is it's a great event, and it's so significant because this is a drone that, in my opinion, it's equivalent to the Mavic 3 series drone. You're almost getting the Mavic 3 with this drone, and you can't say enough about that.
Thank you, Bill. And Johnny, you guys show coming up Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, we got Tom Doling and Bob Dempsey. So tune into that. We'll catch up with Tom and Bob, and of course, it's
my man Bob Dempsey.
Bob Dempsey, yeah. Bob's that old farts has really taken off, and man, it's incredible the amount of numbers he's got in that.
He's a He's a real celebrity now, Johnny.
He really is, and Bob.
We
man,
can't afford to get him on as much as we'd like.
And him and Tom are flying out there in Vegas, so that they're having a ball. Of course, they're talking about some kind of meetup at some point, but yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. Lon. No, I don't have a YouTube channel, Lon.
And as Marcus,
Lon put up a video. I got to say, Lon put up a video the other day.
Oh, I got to get over there and check it out. And as Marcus said earlier, we did a special DroneNation International show Sunday with Jackie Akers from the Drone Seekers. They were on hiatus this week because Steve was doing a charity event over the weekend. So they'll be back at their regularly scheduled time this Sunday. It's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and no idea what that is in Spain, but or UK. But they'll be back, and I don't know the guest, but I'm sure she'll be a good one. And then Marcus and I will have I guess we're going to do a little event on Wednesday morning, just a small one for the Action 4. But basically, Marcus, you don't have to see if that thing's stacked or not.
We like it when they're stacked, yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta check that stack out on Wednesday morning or whatever. So we'll be up bright and early. Johnny, if Johnny and Bill, if you want to join us, Johnny, bring the coffee. Put in a second pot that morning, and you can join us too. I know you have to get out early and get your walks in that heat. So if you could fit us in.
That'd be fun. It'd be fun. Hey, and the show that was last month already. That was.
I know it's things are happening so fast here. And Marcus, do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I want to answer a couple questions in the chat. So
yes.
Southwest SW Video is asking me, Marcus, as an American, why do you use the metric system instead of Imperial? Couple of reasons. One, with regard to drones, all the manuals are written in metric. So when you're testing and doing things so forth, all the specs typically are published in metric, so it makes it a little easier. Secondly, drones have helped me get to know the metric system, and I really like it. It makes a lot of sense. In fact, it's much easier than Imperial. I wish we would convert in the U.S. We really should. So I will continue to use the metric system in my videos, and it's so easy to do those conversions in your head, so it's no big deal. Secondly, I want to address QIN Dynasty Drones. He's bragging about flying at 1,650 feet over Niagara Falls or whatever. Listen, that kind of stuff, I don't think there's a one of us that hasn't skirted some FAA rules at some time or another when we're flying our drones. But, that kind of thing is, honestly, I just think it's irresponsible, and that's what's going to get us in trouble. So, yeah, if you don't want to tune in here again, it's fine with me. I don't know how anybody else here feels.
Hey, I do want to say, Ron, VJax DC, first time in the chat, and he's having a ball, and he's actually going to buy an Air 3. So, yeah.
He's the first time DJI buyer. He said he's owned a couple other drones like a Roku and some other drones. Some of the drones Marcus has reviewing test. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have a blast flying at DJI.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Stop back when you get it and let us know how you're making out with that drone there, VJax. We'd love to hear your impressions of the chat, so. All right, guys, we're going to let everybody go here. Bill's got to get work tomorrow, and the rest of us got to get our beauty sleep or whatever. It's been a great show. We had great guests on tonight, Bill and Johnny, and DeMarco had to run early, but always DeMarco's a key member around here. Marcus has a point here.
Okay, so Lon just corrected me on something.
Yeah, Canada's in Canada, yeah.
Thank you. So with a sub 250 drone in Canada, you can fly that thing as high as you want.
Really?
Canadian rules are just don't be stupid.
Okay.
So QIN, I don't recommend it, but I'm going to acknowledge that in Canada, you are absolutely legal.
Illegal.
So I take back what I said.
Hey, that sounds like a T-shirt. Quinn is legal. Quinn is legal in Canada. I like that T-shirt. So on that note, we're going to say goodnight. Thank everybody in the chat for dropping in. Checking out the show and some new people like VJax. Thank you for becoming a kind of a member around here, and membership is free. And Quinn, you again, thanks for letting us know you're up in Canada and so on. But anyhow, we will see you all tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Build the Drone Reviewer show. So see you.
Good night, everybody.
Fly safe.
Good night.
Ending show. Ending show. Freeze.